live, and look what showed up today. Let's not acknowledge it too much because you know how it is. If you acknowledge it, it decides to stop working. So, ta-ta! The chat is here with us for our live stream, Throwback Thursdays. And I didn't mean to go into like Darth Vader mode, but at the same time, very comfy hoodie. Need to be comfy because I need to like get stuff done. So like we need to crank it out without being cold or anything. Phoenix already popped in. Happy Throwback Thursday here and ready for another great stream. And Lainey's here. Hey Lainey, here for a bit, trying to get some words in. Excellent. What are you working on, or like what sort of project are you working on? Yesterday was my writing day for my historical fiction mystery romance question mark standalone novel project, and it was a really good day yesterday, but today I do have to switch over to me working on my comics because that's feels like a throwback since I started it 21 years ago now, but who's counting? I very much am. I'm happy to be doing it, but I'm also ready to be done. Heck yes, being comfy is importante. Hello, Kitty. Welcome. Lainey's working on a dark romance. Okay, good. Actually, this is relevant. This is you. Thank you for coming. I don't read too many dark romances. My friends and I have started like just a little book club where we read a book a month. And the coordinator, she tries to like do different themes so we can compare like a cozy romance versus a dark romance, and nobody has any dark romance suggestions. So if you would like to drop a few names in there, I'll send them to her so she can check them out and decide if she wants to use that for a category, because right now she's like I don't know what we're gonna do for the next week or the next month, because she wanted to do dark romance since we just did like a cozy romance, sort of. What did we do in January? I don't think January was themed, but I think we did cozy romance for February. So we're trying to do a dark romance to contrast it. But let me know a few suggestions so I can send those on to her. Right now we're just using mostly the library as our resources, so whatever you can think of, if you have suggestions. No pressure. Obviously you're here to get words done, and you can use all that typing for your words. But should you feel like you have recommendations, definitely let me know in the chat, please. Thank you. Let's switch over to the drawing. Ooh, it's cookie dough time for Kitty. Gotta make those cookies. My mom, so I guess pause before I go to the drawing screen. We're working on the recipe book, right? And one of the recipes is called crusty pie, and it uses graham crackers, which is already one of my like top flavors, I suppose. And so she made some for me based off grandma's recipe. Really good. I think I personally would take down the sugar quite a bit, or at least have like a black coffee with it, but I didn't have any coffee when I was over there. I really want to make these recipes from grandma's, from the family collection, because I would like to cook at home more, but a lot of the times I feel like I just want the way my mom makes the beans and meat, like, and it's in the book. So I did talk to her about kind of like slowing down because she just wanted to get it done and have it like off her chest, and I'm like, hey, let's not rush this because the stories that you have in here are like really interesting to me, to me at least, and there's a lot of good recipes, but they do need some professional tweaks, adjustments, like clarification, because there's a couple I just read where she's like, a bushel of tomatoes. And I'm like, Mom, what's a bushel? How many tomatoes is a bushel? And she's like, they come in bushels. You go to the farmer's market and you buy a bushel. I'm like, yes, but if someone were to go to Kroger, how do they know how many tomatoes to get? Like, what's a bushel? So we're we're getting on the same page of like we need to clarify some things. Maybe not totally create super detailed recipes for certain ones where she does kind of eyeball it, but I'm like, we can at least make it once and say this is how it was written, this is how we do it, and then like work with formatting and stuff. So I've told her I can probably start doing that more come April after my event is done next weekend. Because why not take on another project? Why not? But I think it would look really good, and I've been wanting to learn book formatting outside of just like a standard novel a bit more as well. So I think that'll be a good project for my, do we call it a resume anymore? My portfolio, I guess. I don't know. Oh, the chat went off. Also, because Kitty just moved to her new flat, first time baking in the kitchen there, and Phoenix asks if there's anything special in flat yummy cookies tonight. Will they be chocolate? Yeah, there's a chocolate chip. And they will be the ones that she talked about yesterday, the chocolate chip brown butter cookies. Lainey, to be honest, I don't read a lot of dark romances except contemporary or like your friend, like comp authors, I guess, where you guys exchange, right? But also depends what level of dark you want. Rena Kent is big at the moment. I'm not a huge fan of her style personally. No shade on her. Ooh, coffee. That might be where I start my first. Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm really sad we have to go to the store so we can buy decaf. I'm having a raspberry tea, which is very nice, very refreshing, but it's not coffee. And our Streambot popped in. Welcome, Streambot. Thank you for participating today. Streambot makes this happen, but also abandoned us yesterday, so it like showed up, but it didn't do its job. Just saying. Phoenix agrees, would be very confused by a bushel. That's not what I'm used to coming across. Lainey also adds, I mostly know the Mafia dark romance writers, so people like Cora Riley and J.T. Gessinger and Sophie Lark. I think Sophie has great plots and is probably more romantic suspense than dark, to be honest. When you have your uber darks like The Ritual and Haunting Adeline, I think that was Haunting Adeline was in one of the two that she found. But again, not personally a fan. Generally, I'm not much use with a recommendation. That's totally fine. I am like the worst. I can only recommend you probably those books, and that's maybe 30. I probably can recommend 40 books, but all of those are Disney, and then those are like Tamora Pierce. That's it. That's those are my go-tos. I'll send the names on to her anyway, and she can do some research, because I do appreciate, we really had like no reference point at all, and I'm like, we can probably switch this and do it later, but it helps to have a few names. I'll just send them on. Fennec says, it sounds like a great project for the recipe book, and really curious about your mom's book. Kitty says, bushel only makes sense in an apple context to me, which is a very big amount of apples, right? It's like a barrel. Well, it's a big basket, but like what do you mean a bushel of tomatoes? What does it mean? Okay, comparative authors, I meant authors I share an audience with usually. Now I want cookies. It is kind of the curse of showing up to these streams. We do talk about yummy foods. In fact, Monday I'm streaming and it's Mac Mondays. So everybody is just going to have some mac and cheese on Monday, and we're going to do stuff and be productive. So, like, come hang out. Phoenix has heard one of their favorite series classified as dark romance, and I'd say incredibly dark fantasy with romance. Just looked it up. A bushel of apples is 45 pounds? I don't think she wanted 45 pounds of tomatoes to make a sauce. I don't think there's a pot big enough to hold that. Absolutely hanging around with Kitty, because Kitty's always making like cookies and baked goods and making us jealous that we're over here without them. But don't stop, Kitty. Don't stop. You can always make us more cookies. It's good. Yeah, think a bushel or baskets of apples. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, it was great catching up really quick there with all of that. Um, but that's where things stand since yesterday because I went to see her today. And right now we're just diving back into what we know best, which is line art. Let's pop over to where I was at before the stream started. I just inked the top page frames here really quick and gonna go in do this. Their chapter 44 goes up to page 180 and this is page 1. It says 151, but I like cut 2 pages out earlier, so it's actually on page 49. So I have like 30 pages to ink yet. Hi Maggie! How's your book coming? I know you have a new release in the near future. I don't know if you saw my message, but I couldn't remember if you gave us a date or if you were still just working on it. But definitely let us know. Let us know how that's going. I need to. Let's hope all of my links work today. So does this? Yep, she working, and then the timer will be 30 minutes. So we'll have a 30-minute sprint. So Lainey can write some words. Kitty can make some cookies. Phoenix, what's on your throwback today? What's on the throwback? We gotta know, so we can hype each other up. Coffee and dessert. Love it. Love it. Love it, love it. And I don't know if Maggie's making dinner or working on some more writing, but I think we're all ready to dive into this first sprint here. So without further ado, let's do the thing. Let's make the words, let's draw the pictures, and make the yummies. We got less than 30 minutes, guys, so let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, get it done! Do 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 do. We're back. Hello, hello, hello. Mid line art here, but you know, you gotta stop somewhere when it tells you to stop the sprint. So let's jump and check in with the chat. How did your guys' sprint go? 30 minutes feels too fast. I was literally considering, like, should I just up it to like 35 or like my random 36 again? I might do that. But maybe not today because I don't want to go and mess with a link. And then actually, it's not a link. I think that timer isn't here. But I don't want to mess with anything because I'm not about to mess with it on stream and be stuck and be like yesterday where we were just like, maybe it'll work again. Also, hydrate if you haven't. Thog shuffled in. Good morning, Thog. Ian also popped in. Woohoo for productivity time. And how's everybody doing? Fennec says, so far, Throwback Thursday is going swimmingly. And Fennec votes 36, multiple of 3s. Yeah. I think I'll up it up to that for the next, I guess, draw time. Just because I don't want to mess with anything this second, but yeah. Though I mean, I kind of do want to mess with it, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna grab this note and make a note like last time. Remember, we made notes, but of course when I did go to address them, what happened? It broke. So, put a sticky note, little pen. We're gonna put 36, and I will know. And stick it over there. Nope, not sticky. We're gonna set it and forget it. Set it right there. Kitty is eyeballing these cookies so much. I bet you just can't wait to dive in. Phoenix is enjoying coffee and had a Little Debbie's oatmeal cream cookie as a total throwback. Yes, those are so throwback. The oatmeal cookies, the cosmic brownies, and the orange, like the orange hostess, the orange one, not the chocolate ho-oh thing. It's not even the ho-oh, but the orange hexagon cake cube. If you know, you know. Oh no, Kitty doesn't have cups or a functioning. Yeah, so you're really eyeballing making the cookies, which with baking can go terribly wrong. But you've made them enough. Like, you have to, there has to be some instinct in there. Lainey mostly faffed around that sprint, but needs to break out the dictation for the next one. That's gonna be, that could be fun, because that could get you going. Definitely. Break it in there. Try to scare it with some more words. Yeah, so when I'm in a writing block, I usually just start with the word the, and then like I write whatever the scene could possibly, knowing full well that it might not make it to the next draft, but just throwing a word down does help with my blocking sometimes. Kitty's just gonna use a random little cup and hope for the best. Okay, well, we all are gonna hope for you and believe that you can do it. It's your basic recipe, you can do it, 100%. You can do this. That also reminds Phoenix that their scale died and need to replace it. Sure, they'll come out yummy, absolutely. Phoenix also started looking into some stuff for webpage creation, considering working on my old school webpage tonight. Oh, you are throwing it back. Is this on your bingo board? Did you put it on your bingo board? Because that sounds awesome. And Kitty definitely used a bit too much flour, but it's fine. It's fine. Who's gonna know? Nobody's gonna know. You can tell us they're the best cookies you've ever made and lie to us, and we'll still be craving them and believe you. But I believe you can make yummy, yummy cookies to go with your coffee. Absolutely. Why is absolutely the word tonight? Why is that? I've noticed. If I were an editor, I would go back and cut out all the absolutely's. when I'm in editing mode, which I noticed, I must be in an editing brain track because of proofreading my mom's, which with my mom's it's because it's fiction. There's a certain way she wants to talk, which is fine, but like for the recipe portions, I'm like, we have to change this and make it more just like instructional. However, the indie book that I started reading, I don't know if it's me and I'm just like, I wouldn't write it this way, or if it's actually maybe like grammatically wrong, because I swear grammar is not my forte. Somehow we make it happen, and often we stay in the same tense. Sometimes we do drift, and that's where the editor comes in. But with this book that I'm reading the first chapter. I only read the first chapter so far, and I'm kind of like wanting to correct it. So hopefully it's just editing brain and I'm overthinking it and I'll enjoy the book later, but I will always support indie authors, and if I get someone's book, I will read it till the end. I don't think I've ever, I might have DNF'd a book once, but I don't think it was an indie book. I try not to ever DNF because I want to see if it gets better, just in case I run into that person again. I haven't actually run into the same people yet, but I'm always like, no, like I want to be able to give them true feedback if they ask for it. A lot of them turn out really good, and it's just like, okay, I can ignore grammar, but sometimes getting past the start when there's grammatical shifts and inconsistencies, I'm worried. I'm only in the first chapter, so I hope it's just me. Okay, yep, it's the webpage is on the bingo board, meaning perfect project for tonight. Excellent. I miss messing around with like website HTML. I actually thought about that earlier today because for formatting Mom's book, I was looking up different software alternatives and then went down the rabbit hole of how do I make an app / how do I make my website look cool and interact like a game, and that's a bigger project than I can take on in 2026, so we're just gonna let that happen. Fennec says, that happens to me occasionally, and I wouldn't even say I have strong editing brain, even when I need it. Grammar and spelling are not strong in me. Maggie says, true as well. Yeah, and I just want everybody to do good. But the struggle is real. The struggle is real. Especially when the book itself, it's one of those where like the cover looks really good. They've got like a fancy, they went and did the upgraded hardcover. So it makes you think that they maybe put that same effort into the editor. And not always the case. Not always the case. In this case, so far I think it's need another round of edits. But like I said, I only finished chapter 1. That's all I can handle. I'll let you guys know how that turns out. But I think it is time to jump back into our next sprint because I need a re-up on my tea. And I need to finish this line art so I can set up the next pages for line art. So let's swing back over here. I think I'll finish the page first and then I'll get tea because I have like some dregs left that are very, very bitter. But we'll figure it out. Fanning says, well, let's see how it goes for me with the webpage stuff this time around. I always thought it was fun to create stuff for the World Wide Web. Yeah. If you get back into it, Phoenix, I'm going to definitely have you in my corner when I'm ready for what I'm going to call secret web project, only because I don't want to get people excited for it when I can't do it just yet. It'll be our secret. Our secret. We're going to have to learn JavaScript or something maybe. The cookie dough is chilling, so I can go back to reading. Excellent. Perfect time to jump into the sprint. And The stop panel is going to be pretty easy to ink. I've noticed there's some like spots on my tablet where like it's rough, so the lines don't go straight and I have to like redraw them. But I went and was like, let's throw a market scene down here. And I don't like drawing backgrounds. I can do it, and sometimes they turn out nice, but it takes a lot of time, so wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck, so I can go get some more tea. Oh, sorry, the timer, this timer was supposed to go yet. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun there. But I'm gonna start it right now. We'll talk about it when we come back. But let's do the sprint in 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, we're back. I didn't have a chance to get up because I thought I could totally finish this within the time, but which I think it has the impression that I need it to, so in a way, yeah, I guess that will work. That can work for showing their inner city. And I can add a few more details here and there, especially once I get into finishing the pages, so it's not like, this is it, this is what we got to work with. Nope. Oh my goodness. So, yes, and appreciate my marshmallow people. Because sometimes you just can't. But let's pop over here and check in with the chat. Fennec says we'll chat about secret web stuff in a secret way later. Yeah, secret slash very, probably less complicated than I think it is, but also more work than it needs to be. Maggie said the struggle is real and sometimes things get through. Sometimes an author can put everything into a book, but if someone on the way is unscrupulous, then the author may not know. I had a friend who paid for formatting, and the person paid screwed it up, PM'd her with the question about her, personal messaged her with the question about her paperback and hardcover formatting. She didn't know they hadn't done it right. So were you the one who PM'd her, Maggie, then? I helped her as best I could and found her another formatter, but she was so depressed. Reason why I have to do everything. Not to say I don't trust people, but I'm like, I can figure it out. Now ebooks are disappointing to me because I know they need to have like that flow format, but I want them to look like a PDF format. So I think some of mine have the flow because I did it with Calibre. I don't know if any have the PDFs, or if they'd even let me do a PDF, but part of me wanting to learn more about book formatting was to improve my ebooks in particular, also because I do want to add illustrations possibly in Fox, Wolf, and Hound, and definitely do like a alternate illustrated version for like Tower of Dogs. So I wanted to make sure I was just doing the best that I could, because like the basic novel format I think turned out fine. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But do I trust the ebook thing? Like I don't promote my Kindle as much because I'm like, what if it messed up on the Kindle side? What if it's wrong? What if I don't see that it's wrong, but what if someone else's is totally wrong? So I just don't trust the internet. I have to like see it in my hands. But I have to learn. I have to learn to trust the ebook process and maybe get better at it also. So I definitely feel for your friend there. Maybe one day I'll have to, like, if I can get comfortable with formatting, I would love to help people out with that, because I do like being organized and making things look nice. And I think that is like my mom, for example, she's like, I don't know, every time you say formatting, I don't know what you mean. Do you want me to like change the font in Word? And I'm just like, I can do the formatting. I just want to make it look like I want to give us some variation in how it looks. So I'll format it, or format parts of it, show it to you, and if you like that, then we can do that. Otherwise we can stick with your basic like kind of Word document style. But I'm also, anytime I get a commission, I'm like weekly, if not a couple times a week, sending updates like, hey, is this still look right? Do you like this? Question. So I could never work with somebody that didn't clarify and like let you see it before it was done. So I feel for her. Phoenix is having so much fun looking into old school websites, like the fun of thinking of a guest book and adding a blog. I miss this. I need to make a graphic for my bingo card. That way I can try creating an HTML page about my throwback bingo board. Well, there you go. There's your first website project, is creating like an interactive bingo board. Ooh, it doesn't have to be interactive, but wouldn't that be cool? Maggie also does everything, almost everything herself because she's broke. Yeah, like also I don't have money to pay people to do those things, so I will learn and watch all the tutorials and make mistakes. I also use Calibri because it's free. Yeah, same Maggie, same. And I've watched Sako Tumi's tutorials and several other videos, but to be honest, I see people using these fancy formatting programs and my brain nopes out. Yeah, I've seen that too, and some of them I like because you can see it a little bit more, like visuals in it. So I'd like to investigate that. Apparently, the program that I want to try to format my mom's book in does that. So I said, hey, I need to learn this program, and this will be a good test project. So, like I said, that won't be, we're going to put that on quarter 2. Because quarter 1, we still gotta finish. we still gotta make some dents in this line art just to feel. Oh, I didn't even do my pin. Oh no. Oh no, guys. To be fair, I came into quarter 1 naive. Naive and hopeful. And expecting that the days that I asked off would be super productive and I wouldn't be sick for half of them. Or like sharing that for my anniversary vacation and not doing work. But you know, optimistic. So these were my initial 3-month goals. The first one, I gotta go on this side so I can see you. Hello. The top one was to complete Kuro Kenshin. I thought I could complete this bad boy in 3 months. Nor, I started the remaster in 2022, which I think 22 and 23 was reworking volume 1. And then 24 and the start of 25 was reformatting the following volumes to get them ready for print. Early 2025, early mid, was when I was supposed to start drawing new content. And I think I finally drafted the new stuff in like September, October last year. And so I drafted chapter 43 last fall. However, I just finished that a couple days ago. So, granted, I haven't had like a good work routine on it until now, but like, look, I think I even went back and wrote ambitious indeed. So I'm not getting my week off the studio, which I think at this point I would need just a week off of like major projects, or at least like a month of where I can just do whatever and not work on a project. I don't know what a good reward is, but being done is a nice reward too. My other goal was to create, design, and produce the first enamel pin, which now we do have a design for. I just need to like clean it up, and maybe I can totally or technically count that goal done if I can get the pin in production. I don't know with the world how it be. I don't know, but there's that. And then the last one was working out, which I finished level 2, so I added level 3 to this thinking it would take longer. But because it's Ramadan, I haven't been like doing this workout, so screwed myself over. But I'll have to put it, where's my quarter 2? I started planning it a bit, so it does say chapter 45, which means I'm gonna have to add chapter 44 on there as well because I'm not done with it. Fox, Wolf, and Hound, I'm pretty confident is going to keep going as at the pace it's going. It's going pretty well. And then I also had enamel pins on here again and bingo art, but I'm going to have to add Mom's book, recipe book, work on formatting and stuff. So like I'm thinking about stuff, we're doing stuff, but we're also not doing it at the pace we thought we could. Like who are we? Why did we think we could do this like that? Why? It's so silly. So silly of us. Oh well, big dreams. Big dreams. Ooh, I missed something in the chat. Kitty's cleaning up the mess in the kitchen now, and the cookies go into the oven. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Kitty has made magical cookies. Maggie is currently in a fight in a Facebook publishing reader and writer group about the fact there are no non-AI grammar or formatting programs. They literally know nothing about the backside of indie pub. Yeah, everything has AI built into it right now, and I don't like it. Like, I don't know if we could really count spell check and like the grammar, like Grammarly, I'm pretty sure is AI. Even though I think it was technically coming out before AI. I don't know if it's changed because it's way more than just like your simple spell check and your underline of like, this isn't how it works. So yeah, you have to make an effort to not have AI be part of your process. And like even Canva, I know there's been some talk about Canva, but it does look like you have to have like Canva Premium to access their AI. So I'm like, if I stay on the free thing, which I don't make anything like super duper over there anyway, except for I try to make a thumbnail here and there or something. But yeah, everything is so built in with different things of AI. It's like, let your people do their thing. Like, people know how to do this for a reason. We don't need it to take over. Phoenix, next sprint will be looking into having an interactive bingo board on the webpage. Oh, and they blocked you from commenting? Well, sounds like they're maybe insecure about that. But really, it's like, it's part of the conversation. It's definitely part of the conversation. Yeah. Can be hard to not set unrealistic goals, to even realize they are unrealistic. And Meg's like, goals? I need to do those things. How has Ramadan been? It's been, it was going pretty well, I think. And when literally I had one day when we had the spring forward, so it was an extra hour long, and I just needed to take a nap. And then the Red Baron showed up on Monday. So I haven't been able to fast this week, which means I'm going to have to start again on Saturday or Sunday, and it's probably going to be harder this last week while everybody else is used to it, because being a female, you auto get like 1 week out that you have to make up later, and I'll just sip my tea in silence. Otherwise, it's been good. I just know the last few days are going to be a little hard, but I don't know. I think they said now it's the 20th where it ends. So definitely most of next week is still going to be Ramadan. Phoenix has accomplished my one and only goal of the year every day so far, which is survive. Maggie's been praying the rosary daily for Lent, but had to give up on the no beef part of my fast due to iron levels. Oh yeah, you need a beef and beans. Ideally together, because they're delicious. Fog feels that as well. Could not take iron supplements during pregnancy. It would make me vomit profusely. Maggie says, non-generative AI is fine for all. Predictive AI as photo filters is a gray area for me. Yeah, like when you automatically upload, like, because even if you upload like a cover that a real artist did, and it filters it. Now, it's rough being an artist right now. Yeah, generative AI, which does everything for you, is a hard no. Like, why do you even want to do it if you're not going to do it? I've never been able to use Canva for anything that didn't look like poop. It didn't look like... It's kind of just like beefed up PowerPoint for me. Like, I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world, but it does. If I ever do a short, like the vertical videos, I can just edit it in there because I don't have a video editor otherwise. So that's really that, and then making like the calendars for the live streams because it's basic. It's basic, and I'm not really customizing it. And why is my face red? Oh, I'm warm. It's the AI. The AI. It didn't filter me. This is my reaction, though. I hate that they often make it hard to avoid the AI with the way they build it in nowadays. Yeah, because especially you do a Google search, and the first thing that pops up is the AI overview, which, why does it have to be an AI overview? Why can't it just be, like, the most relevant search? So, I don't know. Beef and beans and spinach are my go-tos for iron. Also can't take supplements. I'm wondering if, because I wondering if I have that issue. It hasn't been making me feel nauseous, but I've had worse constipation, which I know is a side effect of iron supplements, because I was gonna try to take them before giving blood, and now I'm like, I don't want to go through that pain again. So beef, beans, and spinach, I guess. Green leafy goodness. I got you. We're good. We know it. We know what you meant. And I struggled with Canva and would rather find something else. Maggie added, the Pagosa Cliffs covers were ones I cobbled together and ran through a filter to make into decent images. I do like that I could turn off other artists, but now that the beta ended, I can't afford it. Sad. So sad. Miss old school Photoshop elements. Never liked full Photoshop. There's so many Photoshop adjacent programs. Like, some of them have like steeper learning curves initially, but then it's, once you know where everything is, it's fine. So it's sad that Adobe has such a claw on the art world for sure. I use Quant for search, so I don't have to deal with the AIBS in my searches. And Phoenix linked it there in the chat. And for Maggie says, for me, it's the sulfates and vitamins that I have to, and vitamin D is the synthetic vitamin D, I think you meant. Gotcha. I'm sure all of our bodies are upsetty spaghetti in some way. But we're here to work our brains, sort of. Somebody is making cookies, which is going to be super delicious, I'm sure. Phoenix says, for whatever reason, just don't absorb stuff properly from supplements. That could be the case. I've never paid attention long enough to know. And I usually am terribly inconsistent, so. Sorry, speech to text AI isn't catching all my words. All good. All good. It's, especially if you're saying stuff and it just combines your sounds. Like, my mom just talk to text when she texts us all the time, and it's, oh, the timer started without me. It's often very funny. You just need to sit down and type like a person, and I need to figure out bingo boards for the webpage. All right. Sounds like we all have things we need to do. Do I want to go grab my tea now, or at this point am I committed? Kind of want popcorn, but that's too greasy right now. I think at this point, wait, Maggie, you want to pretend to be a person? I think I'm just gonna keep inking, and then when we're done, I will go get like popcorn or something. So I do have enough water, and I can re-up on tea later. I may have to figure out some, like a pillow for the seat though, because long term, not comfy, which is not good when you need to be on here long term. So Check if you are not a robot. Yeah, absolutely. The absolutely came back. No. Maybe it's Baldur's Gate 3 and the absolutists coming and invading my brain with worms. Anywho, let's. I did not hit that timer. Why is it? Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's why. I didn't hit timer. I need to rename that. I'm gonna rename this so I don't do that again. I keep hitting where it says sprint, sprint, sprint and turning that off. Rename to sprint, sprint, sprint instead of putting timer on that thing and accidentally doing it. Okay. Now we are going to jump into the sprint. I apologize for any confusion. We will do the thing. We are here. Sprint faster. 30 minutes, guys. Let's do it. Back in 30. 3, 2, 1, go! Do 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 do. Good night, Maggie. Enjoy your family time. Thank you for hanging out with us and keep us updated on how your book is going. Good night. Okay, we are back from that sprint. Let me make sure I turn the timer off. There we go. Because we'll need that this time. I think I need to switch gears a little bit for this last sprint because my battery went like whoosh. So I am still going to work on the pages, but I need to kind of like move the last couple pages or like make a copy of them to send to my tablet because I want to block out the new pages on my tablet and then transfer them over for the final line art. But because I don't know exactly, like I just want to make sure I know the lineup properly. So essentially I'm just going to prep myself for future work. That's not going to happen tonight, but we're going to get it done so we can do more work on our tablet. I think tonight's a crash night because I've been tired since I woke up. It happens. It happens. Cookies are done. Woo! Pretty tasty, different than normal though. Must have been that little bit of extra flour or something. Something is not quite right. But at least they did turn out. Who be squeaking their horns? Also, I haven't looked at this in a minute. What's today? 9, 10, 11, 12. Today's the 12th. Give me my steps. Too tired to go get more steps. So we're just gonna color it in. It's been a while since I've updated you guys on my step tracker. My destination Disneyland thingamajig. So this is the final page of it, and obviously I'm maybe just over halfway. So once this is done, I will have, I guess it's over the course of like a year and a half with what I've been tracking, like because I wasn't allowed to like roll over steps. I've walked to Disneyland. It's taken that long because I'm not gonna worry about tracking my steps like that once this is done. So it is what it is. Oh, but I found these pages that I did where I like broke down projects a bit, and I had a freak out of like when I needed stuff to be done for it to be on schedule. Yes, look at that. I haven't played around with this notebook in a second. Huh. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys where my step tracker was, even though at this point does it really matter, because I don't get to go to Disneyland when I'm done. No sir. There will be no fun vacations for at least 2 more years, possibly 4. Well, I mean like theme park things. So staycations it is for a minute, which is fine. Phoenix is still looking into stuff for the website, including free image editors. Hi Snazzy! How's everybody? Thog's about to head out to work, so have a good night, Thog. Phoenix is getting ready to figure out dinner and watch the Throwback Thursday TV lineup after sprints. Mostly snazzy. I've been working on line art, and I'm just about to switch gears to kind of like help future me in a way. So there's that. Otherwise, we've been doing good. Yesterday I did a lot of writing, so I think I'm allowed to let my brain turn to banana mush today. How are you? How are you? What's going on? Did you go to the gym again with your was it your coworkers or your friends who kidnapped you? Forgot what I was saying. Stuff, steps, Disney, doing things. I still need to do my language for tonight. Mac Monday. I told Terry if he's gonna make his gourmet mac and cheese recipe to do it Sunday/Monday morning, so I can have mac. I'd be fine with a Kraft box or a box of Kraft mac and cheese. Believe me, can't eat the whole thing just because it's made like that. But he did say he wanted to try like a gourmet mac bake thing, so I'm like, if you're gonna do it, I have Mac Monday. Yeah, my brain's definitely like petering out. Pew 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 pew. Yes, and Phoenix has been working on their old school website, which is on their Throwback bingo board. So that makes me want to work on website, but also tired. So I remember kind of designing, like everything we did was HTML, where I wanted to make it an I still want to make an interactive map. So like for the Eden trilogy, I want to make an interactive map where you can click on different locations and at the minimum be able to like it'll take you in there, which I'm sure just goes to a separate page, and you like get a nice landscape view of the area. Or if like if it's Putra's house, like you see Putra there and you can get some more details about her. That's the basic version. The big version is like having hidden things in the image where like you don't realize until you hover over it, like, oh, I can click on that, and then it takes you to something else. But then I'm also like, what if we did a choose your own adventure, and then it gets out of hand. So yeah, look forward to that in the who knows when future. Phoenix will be having some sort of mac and cheese for Mac Monday, maybe gourmet, maybe blue box. You know, both are great. No gym tonight for Snazzy, but will gym tomorrow. Have had kind of an emotional day. Oh, I'm sorry. Dealing with some personal health stuff, and my grandmother isn't doing very well, so I visited her today. Oh, well, we're very glad to have you pop in, and hope we can distract you for a little bit in your tough time right now. So internet hugs. Internet. Which did you go left? Yeah, give Lottie a hug for us, since baby girl's probably feeling mama's stress. Phoenix misses the creativity behind creating HTML sites and love that idea for a map. My imagination still well exceeds my abilities so far. Oh, yes, that is the thing. We were Terry and I were talking earlier about, how did this conversation start? Oh, talking about the workshop that I'm gonna do, and I'm trying to work on a byline title, and so I was working with something like writing for comics so your artist doesn't hate you, aka make the words make sense for left brain people. But I'm like, right, or is it left brain or right brain, whichever is the creative side. And then Terry was like, are you sure you're left brain or creative brain, because I'm also like the technical one. I do like all the finances. I'm always gotta be organized, and I'm like, I am all brain, and that is why I am always tired. All brain is always tired. And he's like, now that actually makes sense. So all brain. all brain faux shows. But yeah, that's kind of the working title that I'm trying to use as my like planning for the workshop. Very light planning right now, but I need to submit my my workshop proposal soon. Probably need to do that tomorrow, so I want to have like a list. I just want to have some structure, but I don't feel like I have the time to like make a structure and then submit. I have to submit and just commit to it. Yes, internet group hugs. All brain here as well can confirm it leads to always tired. Yes, always tired. Just that's why when I go to bed, my brain doesn't turn off. It just runs until it like essentially enters sleep mode. But then like you nudge the mouse and it's still going. It's still going. It just was waiting for you to also be there. So I don't know. So I'm like, that's all brain. Well, we need a sticker. That's all brain. An all brain sticker. Okay, let's do final sprint. Let's do final sprint. So I'll still have my program up here for final sprint, which will be 30 minutes. But you'll see if you do look at it, you'll see a lot of pages going because I'm saving little thumbnails for me to reference as I block out pages away from my computer, essentially. Phoenix thinks she's, or not, Phoenix was the all brain. Yes, Kitty is gonna use the last sprint to research carnivorous plants because her nephew is getting into plants and is most interested in those. Also plant terrariums where he can add figurines. Ooh, that's a fun little rabbit hole to go into. I hope you let us know how that goes. Get him to be creative with plants. Absolutely. More power to the green thumbs. More power to it. Well, give us your most fun fact when we come back from the sprint, or if you want to share more, like absolutely, because that sounds very interesting. I want a little plant terrarium. I just don't know if I can keep it alive. The struggles. Anywho, it is final sprint time, so let's get into it. Finish strong, get it done, and wrap up our Creative Commons Throwback Thursday the right way. In 3, in 2, and go! Do, 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 do. Boom. We're back. We're back. Obviously, nothing happened on the screen really there because, funny thing, I realized as I was trying to like make a thumbnail guide that I had a whole file where I essentially blocked out the entire thing, so it was just all the sketches saved. So I sent that through the email, so I have to check out when I open up my tablet if it opens up properly or if I have to reformat it. But I wrote up here, okay, but metal bookmarks, because I would like to make them particularly for Kuro Kenshin at the moment, as kind of a, like, I still want to try and do a Kickstarter when Volume 5 is done to not only just get me some copies of it, but to kind of take the opportunity to like embrace it, promote it. And there's two specific items that are both kind of bookmarks. But the first being like the clear acrylic bookmarks that I did for the Show Me Your True Nature Tower of Dogs on the clear acrylic. I wanted to do that with the 4 mythical beasts because that is part of some of the mythology that I reference and use in Kuro Kenshin. And then I was like, oh, it'd be super cool if I could just make a little sword because they're following the legend of Kuro Kenshin, which is this black sword. And I realized, oh, I could get like one of those flat metal bookmarks. Who does this? So I've been doing research and I found a company that produces really nice looking work. So like at the minimum, it would be the sword kind of on either a thin chain or maybe like the ribbon, and then the end of the chain would be the book maybe. But then I saw more of their designs and they can do really intricate work, so I might actually consider like making a stretch goal of doing the 4 beast designs also as like a metal bookmark. So that is, we have to wait for Kuro Kenshin to be done for a lot of fun things, but I would like to at least attempt a Kickstarter with that because I think I need to learn Kickstarter, like the process and the setup, and it will, you know, that month when the Kickstarter is running, I can focus on just Kuro Kenshin stuff and promoting it and having the fun and the excitement. And then when it succeeds, like get it sent out so people get it and I'm free. Like that's the dream right now. So after I figured that stuff out, I started going in to write goals for Q2, just because I have an idea of how far I'll be able to get in the next couple of weeks with what I have left on my list, which is still a lot, but more semi-reasonable. Still reaching for the stars and hoping to land on the moon kind of thing. It's the other way, isn't it? Shoot for the moon and maybe you'll land them on the stars. Whatever. We're shooting for the stars. The moon's bigger. We'll hit the moon if we have to. Kitty has a plant research for us. Cause yeah, Phoenix was like metal bookmarks. Yeah. And what Kitty has learned about carnivorous plants. They need really bright light. You can grow them in moss. They do like kind of standing in water, but not tap water because they don't like a bunch of minerals. So probably distilled water. Snazzy took a nice hot shower and got in bed that sprint. That sounds really good. I want to go lay down and sleep. You don't actually have to feed them insects. They are fine as long as they get water and a lot of sun. Okay. Interesting. And Fennec says, hopefully now that you've wash the day away, Snazzy, you can be comfy and settle in for the night. Kind of excited by the idea of a fun metal bookmark. I know nothing about Kickstarter at all, but at least you have a better idea of what kind of personal website you might start with. Cool. Yeah, I've never done a Kickstarter. I have a vague idea of what it takes, but I would rather do it with a project that's like, I already have books 1 through 4 done. Book 5 is now done. It's just a matter of, do you want it? And do you want these extra cool bonus things that you can help me fund to order? Because ordering, even like, I would definitely do a limited run, but ordering even whatever, I don't like, the places I looked up said they don't have a minimum, but it depends on your design and materials. So on average, most places have like 100 as a minimum. I'm like, even if I do a limited run of 100, that's a lot of money that I would like people, if they people want the stuff, like, I'll get it, I'll do it, but I need, kickstart me, please, please. Because like the 4 beasts, the phoenix, the tiger, the dragon, and the tortoise, like, are general enough where like those are items or like designs that I can have artistically on my table no matter what moving forward. So it's not like Kuro Kenshin specific, but it's Kuro Kenshin relevant. Yeah. Oh, Phoenix might be that I have too many ideas and need to settle down a bit and decide where to start. Yeah. Start writing them down. Get your journal, brainstorm, have fun with it. Have fun with it. I'm definitely wiped tonight, and the alarm did go off for 10 o'clock, so I think we're going to not do a Midwestern goodbye and just try to wrap up and let everybody go to sleep. Next stream is Monday, still in the 7 to 10 time slot, but we'll do Mac Mondays, so bring your mac and cheese, or your what other macaroni I guess there could be. Bring on, ooh, macaroons, but mac and cheese. Bring that on Monday, and we'll get some more work done because I have an event next weekend, so I need to make sure I'm ready. Things are charged, signage is good. I've done this enough times, I shouldn't have to feel this way, but I'm also like, do I have everything where I need it to be? So yeah, we will rejoin after the weekend on Monday. Kitty has the same problem with new plants. Yes, excited for Mac Monday. Good to see you all night. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you again, and I will see you guys on Monday.